The School of Essential Ingredients is the debut novel by Erica Bauermeister, published in 2009, that quickly became a bestseller. The heart of the narrative revolves around 8 individuals who gather for a weekly cooking class at a restaurant. Throughout the course, their unconventional instructor uncovers the essential ingredients that awaken and reshape their lives. Critics commended Bauermeister's ability to evoke the sensory pleasures of cooking, yet some found her conclusions to be occasionally cliched or excessively sentimental. In 2013, Bauermeister penned a sequel that follows Lillian, the cooking class instructor, and delves into her restaurant venture titled The Lost Art of Mixing. The story opens with a prologue that traces Lillian's past. Her father's abandonment during her childhood led her mother to withdraw from the world and seek solace in books. In an attempt to reconnect with her mother, Lillian embraced cooking as a means to discover her mother's essential ingredient that could bring her back to reality. Guided by her abuelita, her grandmother, who owned a specialty spice shop, Lillian succeeded in her quest by presenting her mother with a fresh, crisp apple. Food, for Lillian, embodies both healing powers and enchantment. In the present, Lillian is the chef and proprietor of Lillian's restaurant, where she hosts a weekly cooking class every Monday night. Bauermeister crafts individual chapters for each of Lillian's 8 students, giving insight into their lives. These students encompass Claire, a young mother grappling with a fading sense of identity amid her numerous responsibilities, Antonia, an Italian kitchen designer adapting to life in America, Carl and Helen, an elderly couple, Tom, a widower whose wife succumbed to cancer, Chloe, a young woman working as a busser at the restaurant, Isabel, a widow contending with the early stages of Alzheimer's disease, and Ian, a socially isolated computer programmer. Individually driven by their unique motivations, the students embark on their journey within the cooking class, each discovering their own essential ingredient that brings transformative change to their lives and helps them uncover their unmet needs. Lillian, the instructor, defies conventionality as both a chef and a teacher. She shatters the mold by withholding recipes, urging her students to cook based on intuition rather than rigid instructions. Instead of precise measurements, they are encouraged to rely on their senses and add ingredients until the dish achieves the desired visual and sensory harmony. Among the students is Claire, a busy young mother of 2 who grapples with adjusting to her new role. Amid the demands of motherhood, Claire fears losing her own sense of self. Her supportive husband, James, suggests she take Lillian's class as a way to reclaim her identity. Lillian's restaurant holds sentimental value for the couple, as it was the site of James's marriage proposal. During a class focused on preparing a live crab, Lillian's guidance prompts Claire to contemplate the crab's life cycle and find a renewed sense of control over her life and self. Helen and Carl, a seasoned couple in their 60s, radiate a deep bond that is evident to their classmates. The lesson on baking a cake evokes memories of Helen's past extramarital affair, a crisis that once shook their marriage. Ultimately, they managed to mend their relationship and committed themselves to building an even stronger foundation together. Antonia's story reflects a journey of cultural adaptation. Having migrated from Italy to the United States, Antonia grapples with language barriers and homesickness. As she strives to embrace her new environment, the experience of an Italian-style Thanksgiving, complete with ravioli as the centerpiece, becomes a bridge between her old and new homes, merging the comforting flavors of her heritage with the unfamiliar American setting. As the story unfolds, we meet Ian, a rigid computer programmer who reluctantly joined the class after receiving a coupon from his mother. Accustomed to strict plans and structure, he initially struggles with Lillian's free-spirited cooking approach. His difficulty forming attachments is evident. He tends to trade something old for something new. However, his outlook begins to shift during the class, especially as he falls for Antonia. Despite harboring a crush on her, Ian is hesitant to make a move. Over time, his newfound courage, nurtured by his own essential ingredient, gives him the impetus to ask Antonia out. She recognizes his feelings and gladly accepts. At just 18 years old, Chloe is the youngest participant. Trapped in a stagnant relationship with her critical chef boyfriend, Jake, she has been working unfulfilling jobs as a busser. Her motivation for joining the class is to impress Jake, and Lillian generously waives the fee. However, Chloe's encounters with Lillian's abuelita, who serves as a guest chef for a tortilla-making class, mark a turning point. The mentorship empowers Chloe to break free from Jake's toxic influence, giving her the strength to move on. Isabel, the eldest student, grapples with Alzheimer's disease, causing her memories and sense of self to slip away. The act of cooking triggers some of her recollections. Preparing dishes like salmon over white beans awakens a precious memory of her father teaching her to skip rocks. While food can't halt her illness, it becomes a conduit to her past. Isabel finds companionship with Tom, who shares a similar experience of loss due to the recent passing of his wife, Charlie, from breast cancer. Gradually, Tom opens up about his grief during a dinner with Isabel. As the weekly classes draw to a close, Lillian is left with a sense of solitude, reflecting on the transformative journey each student has undertaken. Content with the deep connections her students have formed among themselves, Lillian finds satisfaction in their camaraderie, even though she remains on the periphery. As she readies to close up for the day, an encounter with Tom awaits her at the foot of the stairs. A faint fragrance of apples lingers in the air, and Tom extends an invitation to take a walk together, alluding to a story he wishes to share. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.